In the news headlines tonight, Syria becomes the second country to face a change in regime this week after South Korea, with President Bashar al-Assad fleeing the country as rebels seize the capital. In Hong Kong, the number of incoming mainland visitors yesterday surged almost 30% over last month's typical daily average, thanks to the resumption of multi-entry permit for Shenzhen residents. And the Beijing-gifted pair of giant pandas An and Ke make their debut appearance today. Rebel forces have swiftly stormed the Syrian capital of Damascus, capturing key areas and prompting the country's president Bashar al-Assad to leave the country, ending his 24-year authoritarian rule. Online footages show jubilant crowds in the suburbs of Damascus celebrating with fireworks and chanting for their newfound freedom. Government soldiers in Damascus have abandoned their posts, with military personnel retreating from various locations. Checkpoints were seen completely empty. The city's international airport has been seized by opposition forces, leading to flight suspensions and passenger panic. During their advance, opposition forces released political prisoners from Setnaya prison in the northern outskirts, nicknamed the Human Slaughterhouse and known for its dire human rights conditions. A Syrian military official confirmed Assad's departure, with his whereabouts unknown. Opposition forces claim government operations are under temporary oversight of Prime Minister Mohammed Ghazi Jalali. In a video, Jalali asserted that he has not left the country and is prepared to work with any new leader chosen by the people. Since last month, the insurgents had been escalating their offense, gaining control of major cities such as Aleppo, Homs, and Hama. Meanwhile, the international community is cautious about the development in Syria because the main opposition faction, the Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, was an ex-branch of al-Qaeda and is designated as a terrorist organization by the United Nations, United States, and other countries. Jeremy Zhu, Cable News.
Appointed Tourism Secretary Rosanna Law said the city saw an influx of visitors from the mainland on Saturday, following the resumption of the multi-entry permit scheme for Shenzhen residents. The city welcomed some 145,000 visitors from mainland yesterday, a nearly 30% increase compared to the typical daily average for November, Law noted.
無論係我哋零售啦、餐飲啦、娛樂啦、交通啦，各個嘅同旅遊相關嘅業界。
Law urges various sectors, including retailers, restaurants, entertainment businesses, and the transportation sector to embrace new opportunities and cater to the growing number of tourists. Meanwhile, the Travel Industry Council anticipates a 10% increase in overall tourist arrivals this month over the same period last year. Council Chairwoman Gianna Su said December is the peak tourist season. Coupled with upcoming winter promotional events, the city is likely to witness a surge in tourist numbers. With the launch of the Kai-Tak Sports Park, the commencement of the 3 one-way system, and the official debut of the giant pandas, she is confident that even more visitors will be drawn to Hong Kong.
Panda lovers flocked to Ocean Park today to get a glimpse of An and Ke as the two Beijing-gifted furry stars made their highly anticipated debut. Teeming with visitors, the park started to buzz with excitement even before the pandas had finished their breakfast. As the first group of visitors entered the exhibit, they wasted no time, capturing every delightful moment of the pandas on camera. One visitor expressed sheer joy at the close-up view, remarking on how lively and well-adapted the pandas appeared in their new home. Another visitor said his child was over the moon to see the national treasures on this very first day of the exhibit. However, the thrill of the experience came with its challenges. To manage the crowd, the park implemented a time ticketing system to stagger visitor entry. Some eager fans found themselves waiting over 4 hours. Each ticket holder was granted only 10 minutes to meet the pandas, leaving some feeling rushed. This woman commented that due to the time limit, her kids could only see one panda and missed the other. A 30-minute viewing would give everyone a fair chance to observe and snap photos of both pandas in action, she suggested. Despite the long waiting time, many visitors remained undeterred. This man remarked that the pandas are national treasures, so it was worth the wait. Don't worry if you could not snag a ticket. Ocean Park is hosting 3 daily live streams, offering a virtual window into An and Keke's charming lives at the park. Jeremy Zhu, Cable News.
The government has been exploring ways to further cut spending while remaining mindful of not to overburden the public, says Financial Secretary Paul Chan. The government's projected fiscal deficit has ballooned to around $100 billion, more than double the original estimates. Taking through the airwaves, Chan attributed this shortfall to high interest rates and property market slump impacting stamp duty revenue. To control expenditure, Chan said the primary focus is to reduce government spending by 1% annually, including a hiring freeze, while reviewing if there is room for more cuts in the upcoming budget. He emphasized the need for caution, stating that significant cuts within a short time frame could have adverse effects. On a brighter note, the finance chief said Hong Kong has been doing well in attracting foreign businesses and talents. With 100 companies already established and over 170,000 skilled professionals contributing to future tax revenues, the city could achieve fiscal balance in a few years' time. Separately, the city's latest retail infrastructure bonds offering received $17.85 billion in subscriptions, falling short of the $20 billion target. Chan noted there is nothing to worry about as the institutional portion was oversubscribed by 3 to 4 times, which indicated a robust investment market with diverse opportunities. As for the Northern Metropolis project, Chan said several notable developers have already shown interest in investing. The bidding process will kick off once the specific development areas are disclosed, he added. Cheryl Yun, Cable News.
Around 12,000 people participated in the Kai Tak Sports Park's 5-hour drills this afternoon, marking the first time that both the arena and the youth sports grounds were involved. At the arena, police deployed bomb detection dogs and equipped with cameras and tactical gear to simulate the discovery of suspicious luggage, which was then confirmed safe by the trained police dogs. Meanwhile, at the youth sports ground, test scenarios included fire simulations and evacuation procedures. The tests not only mocked emergency situations, but also tested the venue's traffic capacity. For the first time, special bus routes and designated drop-off areas for taxis were introduced. Chief Secretary Eric Chan, along with the 2 newly appointed top officials, Transport Secretary Mabel Chan and the Tourism Chief Rosanna Law, were on site to observe and evaluate the effectiveness of the drills. Nearly 20,000 people participated in the Hong Kong Streetathon today, including 3,000 non-local runners. The event kicked off shortly after 5 a.m., with Chief Secretary Eric Chan officiating the start. Approximately 1,800 full marathon runners took off from the Eastern Corridor, with the course spanning both sides of Victoria Harbour. This morning logged the coldest temperature of the year so far, dipping to a brisk 16 degrees Celsius, as runners prepared themselves with rain jackets and thermal blankets. Among the participants was a runner from Germany, who was doing marathon for the 15th time and feeling confident.
It's a little early in the morning for me, but I feel very excited. It's my first marathon in Hong Kong. Oh, you know, in Germany we have 0 degrees right now. For me, this is really warm. I love it.
The 10-kilometer race, which started in Chen Kuan O, was equally lively, with many young participants joining in. The event even introduced a family category, encouraging more people to take part. This young boy mentioned that his parents were also participating. "I think they're too slow. I want to run alone," he said. However, the half marathon faced some challenges as organizers confirmed that several runners went off course, resulting in 9 kilometers of longer distance than originally planned. Event founder Andy Sloan stated that the planning and configuration of the route, including the placement of markers, were correct, and that they will investigate whether any staff errors impacted the runners' judgment. Additionally, 4 runners were hospitalized due to injuries, primarily fractures and abrasions, while over 100 others reported minor injuries. Jeremy Zhu, Cable News.
In the latest development of South Korea's political turmoil, leader of the ruling party Han Dong-hoon said President Yoon Suk-yeol will be stepping back from state affairs even before formal calls for his early and orderly resignation. The People Power Party leader pledged to work with the government to stabilize national affairs, reduce confusion, and address the worries of both the public and the international community. Meanwhile, at the same joint press conference, Prime Minister Han Duck-soo stressed the importance to respect the people's wishes and apologize for the political unrest. Despite narrowly dodging impeachment when the ruling party boycotted a vote on Saturday, Yoon faces fresh challenges as the opposition Democratic Party plans to table a new impeachment motion this Wednesday. Opposition leader Lee Jae-myung vowed to persist until Yoon is impeached, calling him the greatest risk to the country. Residents in Seoul are feeling a mix of emotions about the chaos. This student voiced frustration over the repetitive talks about the impeachment, while this woman believes it is the only way forward. When someone commits a crime, that person must be punished, and the only punishment is the change of power, she said. Meanwhile, former Defense Minister Kim Yong-hoon has been arrested for his alleged role in the declaration of the brief but abrupt martial law, the first person to be detained over the case. Kim was accused of ordering the deployment of troops to the National Assembly before resigning from his position on Thursday. Cheryl Yun, Cable News. Romantic Warrior graduated to become a 9-time Group 1 winner with his 3rd straight Hong Kong Cup in almost effortless fashion. Star jockey James McDonald, who was just recently crowned as the world's best jockey, was again on board his champ in the 2,000-meter feature at Sha Tin. It was a clinical victory by the Hong Kong champion, poised throughout in 4th on the rail before dispatching of his rivals soon upon straightening, winning the Hong Kong International Cup by 1.5 lengths by Liberty Island with Tasteria 3rd, both from Japan. With the win, the star galloper has also surpassed retiring Golden 60 and becomes the highest-earning racehorse of all time, with earnings now in excess of a staggering $22 million.